Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, hi, Atto here, and I have decided to go ahead and make a video containing my top 10 picks for the fall of 2011. I see my good friends on YouTube coming up with top 10, top 20 lists, and I decided that it's time for me to move forward with this list. And what I've done here, I I narrowed down my list to a top 20 list, and I wanted to make a video with my top 20 scents, but that video would have became about a 30-minute video, which was too long, and I didn't really feel like doing that, so I narrowed it further down to a top 10 list, which resulted in in a list with cream of the crop, but also with some of the good fragrances missing from being mentioned. So without further ado, I'm gonna go and start with this. And if you don't see a fragrance that on this list, it means it didn't it was overpowered by one of these guys over here. So unfortunately, you cannot have a list with all of the fragrances that you like in it. So number 10, we have a fragrance from the house of Hermès, from the Hermessence line, and this is Ambre Narguile. Translates to actually hookah's amber, and I don't get much of tobacco or hookah kind of a scent with this one. What I get is a kind of a syrupy apple pie type of a scent, which has been mentioned by other reviewers. It is a good scent. I don't really go with the hype and what other people say, but this is a really good scent that you guys could check out. If you don't like gourmands, you won't like this one. If you don't like sweet scents, you won't like it. But if you're a fan of gourmand fragrances, this is I highly recommend you guys check out Ambre Narguile. It does a very good job in drawing compliments. It gets a lot of compliments, by the way. And number 10, that was Ambre Narguile by Hermès. And number 9, we have a fragrance. I have a fragrance from the house of Chanel that did better than Musc Ravageur. So this guy did better than this guy on my list, and the fragrance I'm talking about is called Coromandel from the house of Chanel. And the reason I brought up the Musc Ravageur bottle up is because this fragrance smells very, very similar to Musc Ravageur. And in Musc Ravageur we have that clovey opening with a musk base. In this one we don't have that clove. The clove note has been missing, and it's been replaced with benzoin, and instead of musky base I get an incensey base, so, and patchouli. So it's an excellent scent to check out. It's a very good scent for the fall. It does it's a very good smell, and it will get you compliments. And this is again Coromandel from the house of Chanel at number 9. At number 8, I have another fragrance from the house of Hermès, and this is a favorite of mine actually, and it'll be on all my lists. And you guys know what this is. This is probably one of the best pepper niche scents ever created in the history of perfumery. And when I say that, believe me guys, there's a lot of peppers I've sniffed, and this stands out from any of the peppers out there. Poivre Samarcande from Hermessence line. You guys seen this one? Again, the brown cap. Number 8, we had Poivre Samarcande by Hermès. And number 7, we have a fragrance from the house of Serge Lutens, which I reviewed not too long ago, and this is my second favorite from the house of Serge Lutens, and it did very well on this list, and it's at number 7. So this is called Fumurie Turque, the Turkish fume house by Serge Lutens. As you guys can see, this is Fumurie Turque. Honey, tobacco, smoke, rose, good stuff guys. One thing I have to say about this fragrance is that this fragrance has been discontinued from Serge's international line, which is these bottles are the international line of Serge. They don't make Fumurie Turque in these bottles anymore. It has actually been transferred to those bell jar bottles that are only sold in the Shiseido boutique in Paris. So that means that this fragrance, once it goes, you know, you can still find a lot of bottles on the net for a really good price, 100, 110, 120. Once those bottles are done and gone, the only way you can get this fragrance is by going to the boutique in Paris and picking up those bell jar bottles for 125 euros. That means close to $200, 180. So I'm giving you guys a good hint here. Get this. If you don't even like it, save it. You can get a, you know, you can make good money for this fragrance down the line in 3-4 years. Believe me. Okay, at next, number 6, we have a fragrance from, this was my pick from, for that collaboration video I did for Cubby. That was the fragrance I had on that list, and I mentioned that it will be on my top 10 list as well. Here it is, it's Santal 33 by Labo. Santal 33 by Labo. This fragrance contains a note called papyrus, which makes this fragrance different and special. It's a sandalwood based fragrance mixed with papyrus, mint, tobacco, ambrox, and it's 30% aromatic. The aromaticity is 30%, and this is a perfume, actually eau de parfum, and actually sorry, perfume extract. Yeah, this is a perfume extract actually. So check this out if you haven't, guys. This is the only fragrance from the Labo's regular lineup that's 30% aromatic auto extract, and it lasts on my skin about 20 hours straight. 20 hours with this fragrance. Actually, it's interesting, after 10-11 hours I get chocolate with this fragrance, which I don't know where I'm getting the chocolate from, but it becomes chocolatey after 10-11 hours. Number 5, I have a fragrance that I reviewed recently, and this is the fragrance that I recommended for the people who are starting with oud. Very safe oud, gourmand oud, very well made from the house of Montale Red Aoud, and it has also pepper, Damascus rose, as well as sandalwood and pepper. I mentioned that already. Anyways, this is really good fragrance for the ones who are starting to get their noses on oud based fragrances. This is very appealing for the mass. It gets a lot of compliments. Red Aoud by Montale. Again, check out my review on this one. I won't be talking about this fragrance much since I did a review on this recently. Number 5, Red Aoud by Montale. And number 4, I have a fragrance here which is one of the gems actually in my collection. I don't talk about this fragrance much on YouTube, unfortunately, but my good friends know about this fragrance and how much I care for this fragrance. It's a fragrance from the house of Lorenzo Villoresi, Italian perfume house, and very underrated perfume house. They have some of my favorite creations with pepper and incense. They have a fragrance called Incensi, which is really nice. They have one called Yerba Mate. Yerba Mate is mate tea. Actually, it's a Argentinian kind of a tea, and it's a tea-based fragrance. I highly recommend you check out Yerba Mate as well. And this one, it's my favorite from this house, and it is called Piper Nigrum. Piper Nigrum, it's a Latin word for black pepper. So as you guys can see, Lorenzo Villoresi, Piper Nigrum. Okay, that's this. What I love about this fragrance is that they use a very well made pepper and mix it with a very well made mint. And you have, think about it like this: you have pepper, you have mint, and they're about, you know, let's say 6 parts of pepper and 6 parts of mint. Off top of my head, that's what I'm getting, about 6 parts of each. And so what happens with this fragrance, as soon as you spray it, you get kind of a battle, you know, battle between the mint and pepper. I'm gonna do a review on this one, but I'm gonna give you why this fragrance is so special. So yeah, pepper, mint, and they're kind of, you know, battling with each other. So the mint is a very cooling mint, you know, when you have those, you know, the menthol gums, you know, you put in your mouth and you get the cooling effect. It has that kind of an effect on your, as soon as you sniff it, you just feel the cooling effect of the mint going down your, you know, trachea and going to your lung. And you have this warming, creamy pepper on this side, and you sniff that, it gives you that warming effect. So as soon as it goes down your trachea to your lung, it warms you up. It's really interesting. And the menthol effect and coolingness and the peppery warminess of this fragrance makes this fragrance very special. At some point you're going to be like, you're going to be smelling it. You go like, is this mint or is this pepper? And then, well, it goes to a minty side and it goes to a peppery side. And after 2-3 hours, it just settles down to a really nice pepper scent. A masterpiece of its own. It's a holy grail fragrance, and there's not many fragrances that do what I just explained to you with the juice. So amazing fragrance, guys. Check it out. And there's a reason that guy is on my top 4 list, and it's number 4. Lorenzo Villoresi Piper Nigrum, number 4. And number 3, we have I have a fragrance from the house of Tom Ford. No, this is not Ambre Absolute. This is not Tobacco Vanille. This is not Oud Wood, although 2 of those fragrances I mentioned, Ambre Absolute and Oud Wood, would have been on my top 20 list, but they did not make it to top 10 list. And this guy that made it all the way to my top 3. My number 3 spot, we have a fragrance from the house of Tom Ford called Velvet Gardenia, which unfortunately has been discontinued in 2008 after 6 months of being in the market. And the way I came across this fragrance is a good buddy of mine sent me a sample of this, and he highly recommended for me to check out this fragrance, and I did. And what this fragrance is a true interpretation of Gardenia. And I've sniffed a couple other Gardenia scents, especially the one from the house of Gourlaine called the Cruel Gardenia, and it has, I mean, this one hands down beats all the other Gardenia scents I've sniffed. It is floral, but it's not feminine. It is a little bit feminine in the beginning, but we have animalic base in this fragrance with beeswax, civet, a little bit of musk, vanilla, and woodsy notes as well. And so what it does, first when you spray it, you get a bit of Gardenia, actually not a bit, quite a bit of Gardenia, and then it just, you know, becomes animalic and interesting. And I'm enjoying this fragrance a lot, guys. And Velvet Gardenia, I got this bottle on I got this bottle on eBay about a month and a half ago, probably, after giving it good you know, examination from the samples I had. So number 3, we have Velvet Gardenia by Tom Ford. My top 2 fragrances, I didn't know which one to pick as my number 1 and which one to pick as my number 2, because there is no winner here. They're both number 1s, but I had to, you know, put one on number 2 and put one on number 1 spot. And I decided to go with Baie Rose 26 as my number 2 scent for the fall. This is the Chicago exclusive for Labo. And Baie Rose, I did review this fragrance about you know, a while ago. I don't know how long ago, but it's been reviewed. Check out my review. This has become one of my, this is the only release that I got my nose on in 2011, which blew me out of my socks. It just blew me away. And again, check out my review. I'm not going to get into details, but it has this very, very well made, dirty, creamy Damascus Rose Absolute, which just, you know, blows me away, and it's very sexy. Amazing fragrance, guys. Just leave it there. My number 1, this is another Labo from their city exclusive line, which belongs to London. And I just, you know, whenever I sniff this one after all these time, I'm just, you know, I just become speechless, because this is a masterpiece. This is amazing stuff. It's Poivre 23. I've reviewed this one again as well. Check out my review, Poivre 23 by Labo. It's It contains pepper, but it's not a peppery fragrance. It opens up with a creamy pepper and it dies down to a very, very well made incense with vanilla and creamy, just the type of a fragrance that, you know, it makes you feel so good in a fall day. 30% aromaticity on both of these fragrances, on Baie Rose 26 and Poivre 23. These fragrances are not eau de parfums, these are eau extracts, perfume extracts, and they last, both of them last on my skin, but 16 to 20 hours. This one stays a lot longer than this one. This one goes maybe up to 24 hours. These guys are my top 10s, and you know, I had to put in so much time on this one, guys. I mean, it was not easy for me to pick these fragrances. Trust me. You might say, okay, well, these are just 10 random models. No, they're not. I mean, these guys made it to my top 10 list after me doing experimentation, after me, you know, putting in more thought and, you know, trying to be fair. There's 3 Labos here. You might say that, you know, I'm a little biased towards this house. No, I'm not. This house, the Labo house is a very good house, and they have so many good creations, guys, that you guys, if you haven't checked out, do it. My top 10 list, I don't have anything else to say. If you have any questions, email me, put comments down below. Tell me what your top 10 list is, top 20 list is, top 15, whatever. I'm gonna be asked why you didn't put this fragrance on your top 10 list. Why didn't this fragrance made it to your top 10? And well, the answer is this is my top 10, and this is the, you know, ones I really felt like that they deserve to be on my top 10 list. So if you want to put a top 10 list, make sure you let me know with your fragrances, and I'll make sure to watch and comment and subscribe and do all those. So, but don't be upset if one of your fragrances didn't make it to this list, but since these are my favorites. So that being said, it's gonna be a good fall, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing really good, and it's a bit interesting because I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in southern hemisphere of the earth, and for him it's spring. So he was you know, he was telling me what he's gonna wear for the spring. We don't think about the people who live down below, but yes, for our fall is their, you know, time of the year that the weather is getting, you know, warmer, so they're switching to kind of a totally different type of fragrances. So for those guys who are living in southern hemisphere, check out my top 10 summer lists. That might help. Anyways, guys, so this was it, and hope you guys can let me know what yours is. I'm really looking forward for that, and have a good one, guys. Bye.